subscribe, and hit the bell. It was a regular afternoon after school when I stumbled upon something extraordinary that would forever change my life. As I walked home with my friends, our laughter filled the air as we chatted about the day's events. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the familiar streets of our neighborhood. Little did I know that this ordinary day would lead me to an extraordinary discovery. As we neared the school's entrance, I noticed a glint of something metallic caught in the corner of my eye. Curiosity piqued. I followed the sparkle, and soon found myself standing next to a mysterious piece of parchment lying on the ground. It was old and weathered, as if it had been hidden away for years. Gingerly, I picked it up, my fingers brushing against the delicate paper. It felt ancient and fragile, like a relic from another time. The paper was covered in intricate illustrations that formed a map. The lines and symbols were unlike anything I had ever seen before, as if they belonged to a world of fantasy and adventure. My heart raced with excitement as I tried to decipher the cryptic markings. The map depicted a winding path that led through the woods, crossed a river, and ended at a spot marked by an X. It seemed like the kind of map you would find in a storybook, leading to hidden treasure or secret realms. My friends gathered around me, equally fascinated by the discovery. We speculated about its origins and purpose, but in the end, the allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, I decided to follow the map's instructions the next day, on a weekend when I would have ample time to explore. Saturday morning arrived, and I woke up with a sense of anticipation that I hadn't felt in a long time. I carefully folded the map and tucked it into my backpack, along with a water bottle and some snacks. The weather was perfect, sunny with a gentle breeze, as if the universe itself was conspiring to aid me on my quest. As I set out on my journey, I couldn't help but feel a surge of bravery coursing through my veins. The woods were dense and inviting, the path winding deeper into their heart. The rustling leaves and chirping birds provided a comforting symphony, guiding me forward. I encountered a small stream that matched the description on the map, and I waded across, feeling a sense of accomplishment as I splashed through the cool water. Hours passed as I followed the map's instructions meticulously. Every turn, every landmark seemed to match the illustrations, as if the map was leading me with purpose. Finally, as the sun began its descent towards the horizon, I found myself standing at the very spot marked by the X. My heart pounded with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. I looked around, trying to discern what might be hidden here. And then, something caught my eye, a worn, weathered tree stump. Beneath it, partially buried in the earth, I discovered a small, weathered locket. I carefully picked it up, my fingers trembling as I examined the intricate design. It was beautiful, a delicate piece of jewelry that seemed to hold a lifetime of memories. As I opened the locket, a photograph slipped into my hand. I stared at the image, my breath catching in my throat. It was a picture of a woman, smiling warmly at the camera. It took me a moment to recognize her, my grandmother. I had seen her photos before, but never like this. The woman in the photograph was young and vibrant, a far cry from the frail woman I knew from my childhood. And then it hit me, my grandmother had been murdered. I had heard whispers and hushed conversations throughout my life, but my parents never spoke openly about it. It was as if they were protecting me from a painful truth. But here, in this forgotten place, I had stumbled upon a connection to her, a link to her past that had been hidden from me. Tears welled up in my eyes as I realized the significance of this discovery. The map had led me to the very place where my grandmother's life had been tragically cut short. The locket, the photograph, they were fragments of her story that had been buried with her, waiting for someone to uncover them. As I stood there, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the weight of my family's history, I felt a deep sense of closure. I had discovered something more valuable than any hidden treasure. I had found a connection to my roots, to the woman whose blood ran through my veins. With a heavy heart and a newfound sense of understanding, I carefully placed the locket back in its rightful place beneath the tree stump. I knew that the memory of my grandmother would forever be a part of this place, just as it was now a part of me. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the landscape, I turned to leave, carrying with me a story of discovery, connection, and the unbreakable bonds of family. The journey back felt different. The weight of the locket against my chest was a constant reminder of the truth I had uncovered. The woods that had once seemed like a magical realm now felt solemn, carrying the secrets of generations past. The sun had set, casting long shadows that danced across the path, and I walked in contemplative silence. When I arrived home, my parents greeted me with warm smiles, unaware of the emotional whirlwind I had just experienced. They asked about my day, and I found myself hesitating, unsure if I should share my discovery. But something inside me urged me to open up, to let them in on the secret that had been hidden for so long. As I carefully revealed the locket and the photograph, their faces transformed from curiosity to surprise, and then to a mix of sadness and understanding. My mother's eyes glistened with unshed tears as she took the locket in her hands, tracing the intricate design as if it held a piece of her own heart. My father's grip on my shoulder tightened, and he looked at me with a mixture of pride and compassion. They sat me down and began to share the story I had only caught glimpses of before, the story of my grandmother's life and her tragic end. They spoke of her kindness, her resilience, and her love for her family. They explained how her life had been cut short by a senseless act of violence, a wound that had never truly healed. Together, we looked through old photo albums, each image telling a piece of her story. I saw her as a young woman, full of dreams and aspirations, surrounded by loved ones. And then, I saw photographs that had been taken shortly before her passing, images of a woman who had endured unimaginable pain but had never lost her spirit. As the night wore on, the stories flowed freely. My parents shared memories of their own time with her, weaving a tapestry of family history that had been hidden from me for so long. The pain of her loss was palpable, but so was the love that bound us together. It was as if, through this discovery, I had bridged the gap between generations, connecting past and present in a profound way. In the weeks that followed, I continued to explore the woods, retracing the path of the map. Each visit brought a deeper sense of connection to my grandmother. I began to leave small tokens, flowers, notes, and trinkets at the tree stump where I had found the locket. It became a place of remembrance, a place where her memory could live on. The journey also brought me closer to my parents. We spent hours talking, sharing stories, and cherishing the time we had together. The discovery of the map had not only revealed a hidden piece of our family's history, but had also opened the doors to conversations that had been avoided for far too long. As time passed, I realized that the map and the journey it had taken me on were about more than just solving a mystery. They were about understanding, healing, and honoring the past. The map had been a guide not only to a physical location, but also to a deeper understanding of the people who came before me and the legacy they left behind. And so, the journey continued, a journey of discovery, connection, and healing. The woods that had once held an air of mystery now held a sense of belonging. The tree stump that marked the spot of the X became a touchstone of my grandmother's memory, a place where I could visit and feel her presence. As I grew older, I shared the story with others, friends, classmates, and eventually my own children. The tale of the mysterious map and the journey it had inspired became a part of our family lore, a reminder of the power of discovery and the importance of uncovering the truths that shape our lives. And as I stood at the tree stump years later, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the memories of generations past, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. The map had led me to more than just a physical location. It had led me to a connection with my past, a bond with my family, and a profound understanding of the importance of embracing our history, no matter how painful it might be.